Hello and welcome to today's episode of You and the Law. On today's episode, we will be looking at the offense of premeditated murder. By the provisions of Section 315 of the Criminal Code Act, any person who unlawfully kills another is guilty of an offense which is called murder or manslaughter, depending on the circumstances of the case. Section 316 provides the definition of unlawful acts that constitute murder. For example, if you intend to cause the death of the person killed, or cause him or her some grievous bodily harm, or, if death is caused by means of an act done in the prosecution of an unlawful purpose. When death results in any of the circumstances listed in Section 316, we can say that murder has occurred. Consequently, by the provision of Section 319, the punishment for murder is a death sentence. We will also be looking at the role of the Special Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission. We invited a student from the University of Nigeria, who is a member of the Special Marshal Club, to educate us more on the activities of the Special Marshals. We welcome you, Gabby. Please, what can you tell us about the Special Marshals of the Federal Road Safety Commission?
Thank you for having me. The Special Marshals are the volunteer arm of the Federal Road Safety Corps. This volunteer arm was created by Section 10 of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act. They are men and women of means, with proven integrity in society, who are able to influence their immediate environment in favor of the course of the road safety.
Can you give specifics of what they do?
The Act empowers them to carry out patrol and other activities that ensure good road usage on our highways. Just like their regular counterparts, they can arrest and book traffic offenders, as well as prosecute them when necessary.
Thank you for that explanation, Gabby.
It is my pleasure.
Section 10, 4, and 5 of the Federal Road Safety Commission Act empowers the Special Marshals to arrest and prosecute erring motorists who violate road traffic rules and regulations entrenched in the Act.
Now, you know that a Special Marshal can arrest and erring motorists. This background became necessary as our case study today revolves around the Special Marshals. In this episode, we witness the avoidable death of a Special Marshal, a death caused by a motorist who refused to obey simple instruction. Let us follow the screen for the full story.
On the 3rd day of November 1995, some Special Marshals of the Federal Road Safety were at Auxiliary Junction on the Port Harcourt, Abla Expressway, performing their duty of directing traffic, clearing the road and checking vehicles. In the course of this duty, they noticed a van which had a broken headlamp. One of the marshals walked up to the driver after he was asked to stop. "Good afternoon, sir."
What is good about this afternoon?
"Why are you driving with a broken headlamp?"
My headlamp is not broken. I will not fall for your tricks. You people should stay away from me. The last time you stopped me, I lost the vehicle I was driving.
"Come down from the vehicle. In fact, show me your papers."
I will kill somebody today if you people try me. I know all your tricks. Try me today and regret your life.
As the Special Marshal bent over to make his bookings, the driver immediately entered the car, hit the marshal, dragged him for about 100 meters before running him over. Unknown to the bus driver, a police patrol van had blocked him from escaping from the scene. While the marshal lay helpless on the ground, his colleagues caught up with him and hurriedly took him to Sophia Clinic. He died later that day as a result of injuries sustained from the madness exhibited by the bus driver. The bus driver was arrested. At the police station, he made a confessional statement detailing what transpired on that day. He admitted in the statement that he ran over the deceased with his bus. He was subsequently charged on account of murder, contrary to Section 319(1) of the Criminal Code Laws of Eastern Nigeria, as applicable in Rivers State.
Call the first case. Amakambaku versus the State. Appeal number, SC 471/2013. My lord, the accused person is in court. Any legal representation?
With respect to this honorable court, I am Bassie West. My appearance is for the prosecution. My name is Jude Johnson, my lord. I announce my appearance for the accused person.
Registrar, read the charge to the accused person. Amakambaku, you are standing trial for the offense of murder, Contrary to Section 319(1) of the Criminal Code Law of Eastern Nigeria, as applicable to Rivers State. Guilty or not guilty?
I am not guilty.
Open your case, counsel. Call your witness.
Very well, my lord. Please tell the court who you are.
I am Samuel Leganty. The deceased was my colleague. We were together the day the unfortunate incident happened.
Tell the court what happened on that day.
We were controlling traffic when we noticed a bus with broken headlamp. The deceased was the marshal talking with him. The deceased asked him why he was driving with a broken headlamp. When the deceased bent to check the headlamp, the accused sped off, dragging the deceased with him.
That will be all for this witness, my lord.
Any cross-examination?
Very well, my lord. Mr. Samuel, were you privy to the conversation between the deceased and the accused person?
No, sir. I was not in close proximity with them. I was at the other side of the road.
How then can you tell what transpired between the deceased and the accused person?
It is true that I was not close to them. However, I heard when the deceased shouted, calling people to tell the driver not to kill him. Instead of stopping, the driver engaged his accelerator and ran over the deceased.
Did the accused come down from his vehicle when he was asked to stop?
No, sir. He did not come down.
That will be all for the witness, my lord.
Call your next witness.
Most obliged, my lord. Please tell the court who you are. My name is Williams Kenneth. I am the unit commander of the Special Marshal that was on duty that day. Please can you tell the court what happened on the day your colleague died? Thank you, sir. When the accused was stopped, the deceased asked him to come down for booking. He immediately jumped down from his vehicle and shouted that he was going to kill the deceased if he did not leave him alone. The accused went back to the driver's seat. As the deceased bent to make the bookings, the accused suddenly moved the vehicle and hit the deceased. The deceased was shouting, calling on everyone to tell the driver not to kill him. Instead, the accused increased his speed, dragged the deceased for about 100 meters and ran him over. That will be all for this witness, my lord.
Any cross-examination?
Very well, my lord. Mr. Williams, were you privy to the conversation between the deceased and the accused person? Yes, sir. I was privy to it. As the unit commander, I was there watching the whole thing unfold. In your evidence, you stated that the accused came down from the bus when he was stopped. Yes, sir. He came down from his bus and threatened the deceased. That will be all, my lord.
Call your next witness.
Very well, my lord. Please tell the court who you are. My name is Felix Daniel. We arrested the accused on the day the incident happened. He volunteered a confessional statement and admitted that he hit the accused with his car. The confessional statement of the accused was admitted in evidence and marked Exhibit B. That will be all for the witness, my lord.
Any cross-examination?
No, my lord. My lord, I apply to close the prosecution's case.
Open your case, counsel.
As the court pleases. Please tell the court your name and what you do for a living.
My name is Emeka Mbaku. I am a bus driver here in Rivers State.
Tell the court what happened on the day the deceased died.
Thank you, sir. On that day, I was driving home from work when someone was approaching my vehicle. Immediately he approached me. Another vehicle tried to overtake me. The person coming towards me started to run towards me, to prevent the other vehicle from hitting him. I tried to apply the brakes, but I could not because the brake has failed. My bus hit him. As I came down to help him get up, another vehicle crushed him.
The prosecution witness has testified that you were driving with a broken headlamp, and that you dragged the deceased for about 100 meters. Is that true?
That is not true, sir. I was not driving with a broken headlamp. I did not drag the deceased for 100 meters.
That will be all, my lord.
Any cross-examination?
Very well, my lord. Mr. Emeka, when you were arrested, you made a statement at the police station admitting that you hit the deceased with your vehicle.
Yes, sir. I made the statement, but I did not kill him intentionally.
That will be all, my lord. My lord, the defense applies to close its case. After the address of counsel, the court found that the confessional statement of the accused was in direct conflict with his oral evidence on oath. The court ruled that since they were substantial, his entire testimony will be discredited. The court found him guilty of murder and sentenced him to death. Dissatisfied with the judgment of the court, he appealed to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal dismissed his appeal. He made a further appeal to the Supreme Court. At the Supreme Court, the appellant argued 1. That there existed contradiction between the evidence of the prosecution's two key witnesses, and as such, it created doubt as to whether the accused had the intention to kill the deceased. He urged the court to hold that the offense of murder was not proved. 2. That by the provisions of Section 179(2) of the Criminal Procedure Laws of the Eastern Nigeria, the sentence of murder ought to be reduced to manslaughter, as it was a case of reckless or gross negligence towards the deceased. In a well-reasoned judgment, the Supreme Court ruled, the principle behind inconsistencies and contradictions in witness statements can only be considered where it is substantial and fundamental, as would create reasonable doubt in the mind of the court. The two statements made by the prosecution two key witnesses were in agreement that the appellant dragged the deceased to a distance before running him over. It would be a miracle to find two persons who witnessed an incident giving identical accounts of it when they are called upon at a future date. If it were to happen, then such accounts would be treated with suspicion, as it is likely that the witnesses compared notes. In effect, minor variations in testimonies seem to be badges of truth. The prosecution proved the case of murder by establishing that the death of the deceased occurred, that it was the act or omission of the accused that caused the death of the deceased. The prosecution was also able to prove that the act which caused the death was intentional, with knowledge that death or grievous bodily harm was its probable consequence. The act of threat, issued by the accused to the Special Marshal officials, was the mens rea, and the subsequent hitting and dragging the deceased was the actus reus. I resolve the first issue in favor of the respondent. The purport of Section 179(2) of the Criminal Procedure Laws of the Eastern Nigeria is that, when a person is charged with an offense, and facts are proved, which reduce it to a lesser offense, the accused may be convicted of a lesser offense although he was not charged with it. Both the trial and appeal courts were in agreement that there was an overwhelming evidence, beyond reasonable doubt, as to the culpability of the appellant in the offense charged, and there appeared no extenuating circumstances to reduce the charge or sentence to a lesser offense. Therefore, it will be inappropriate to invoke Section 179(2) of the aforestated law to convict and sentence the appellant on a lesser charge. This appeal lacks merit. I confirm the judgment of the trial and appeal courts sentencing the appellant to death.
Welcome back. I hope you followed how the prosecution were able to prove the offense of murder. Special marshals are empowered by the Act to do what they do on the road. The least you can do as a responsible citizen is to show them courtesy and respect. Again, they are not paid for what they do. They volunteer to serve you and I. Finally, anger is an emotion that has destroyed a lot of precious lives. It does not solve any problem. It only makes it worse. May we from this story learn to do better. Have you subscribed to my channel? Like and share our videos so that others can learn as you have learned. Bye. See you soon.